Hey, this is Mike down at the woodlot today. So haven't posted in a while. One of the reasons why is my tractor. I had a catastrophic failure on it. I broke the PTO shaft off in the transmission. Not an ideal situation for me. Kind of put me behind a little bit while I tried to figure out if the repair was going to be possible to do. Long story short is you can't get the original part from Kubota anymore, so I had to go with try to order a different part. It's a new upgraded part number. Instead of just being able to take 4 bolts out and swapping that PTO shaft off inside the transmission, it turned into what was going to be more than I just wanted to get into. I would have had to split the tractor, take the transmission apart, put a new output shaft in it, put a new PTO shaft in. If Kubota was going to do it, it's going to be about $6,000 or $7,000. Just too much for a 1994 tractor. So I had to figure out something different. So today, what I want to show you is what I figured out. So right here, what you're looking at is a brand new 2024 TYM 494 hydrostatic with a cab. So the model is actually a T494C. I have about 29 hours on the tractor so far. I didn't make videos when I first got it. I wanted to get used to it. So this is not sponsored by anybody. Yes, I bought this with my own money. But what I want to say is I want to give a call out to Joe at Crazy Horse Tractors in Castleton, New York. Joe has been absolutely amazing to deal with. So just a great guy, family-owned business. Went up there, looked at the tractors, drove some around, and landed on this. So let's talk about this a little bit today. So it is my first cab tractor. It does have heat and AC, kind of a game changer for me. On those cool mornings, I get to throw some heat on, and when it's blazing hot out, there is ice cold AC in this tractor. First, we're not going to go over the grapple today. I'll talk about the Tar River Attachments grapple another time, but I will just talk about the loader a little bit since we're in the front of the tractor. The loader lifts about 2,800 pounds. That is a much bigger upgrade over the L2900 that I had, which lifted about 1,100 pounds. So definitely a lot of lift with this loader. One of the things while we're talking about the loader that is a little bit strange for me with this tractor is you can't do more than one function at a time. So you can't lift and roll, drop and roll, any of that kind of stuff. You get used to it, but even my older L2900 Kubota, I was able to lift and roll at the same time, but this does not do that. So not a big deal. I am more than happy with the lift capacity on it. Makes me very, very happy to be able to move logs around, do the things that I need to do at the woodlot. As I walk around the tractor, I did get the ITC brush guard. Those are some great folks to deal with. Apparently they changed, TYM changed the brush guard for 2024. It was a different brush guard. When I ordered it up, I got one that didn't fit, and ITC made that right super quick, figured out what the dimensions were, and cut me up a new one, and what a amazing job they did. So real happy with that. TYM, you ought to put a better brush guard on here so people don't end up with broken hoods. But anyway, great brush guard on here now, so I feel a lot more protected. So with this, TYM does have headlights, high and low beams. I did put LEDs in those already because the other ones were like driving around with candles. But it wasn't that expensive, no big deal, kind of easy to do. That goes with the cab lights too. I did swap those out. They did have halogens in them. I went to much brighter, but same wattage LED lights. Really, really nice there. So as we walk around the tractor, you could see that's the third function that Joe at Crazy Horse put on for me. Love it to be able to have that. The nice thing is TYM put the buttons on the loader controls in the cab, so it wasn't like some aftermarket weird stuff that you had to put on. The controls are right integrated, into that, so really, really great. The one thing, you know, that I will say, just as I go around the tractor, there needs to be more underneath protection for sticks and things like that, but I will deal with that in the future. As you can see here, R1s on it. That's another thing, just dealing with Joe at Crazy Horse. Amazing. When the tractor came in, got delivered, it had R4s on it, not exactly what I wanted, and we had agreed on R1s. So what Joe did for me is he said, hey, no problem, use the tractor, you know, and when the R1s come in, we will swap those out. And Joe was, of course, good to his word. He came down, he picked up the tractor, and the next day it came with these beautiful new Carlisles on it. So much better traction. You know, just gets me where I need to go, anywhere, you know, through the mud and so forth. Just also too, you know, pretty obvious though, tractor's 4-wheel drive, right? So we'll get into that when we get into the cab, but really nice to be able to have 4-wheel drive with this. The other thing too, you can see, you know, windshield wipers on the cab. There is the fill for the windshield wiper fluid in the back. The rear remotes, 2 sets of rear remotes, A and B. A is just regular valve. You know, you push it forward, flows one way, push it back, it flows the other. B is a detent valve. That's to run backhoes or anything that needs constant flow. You actually can modify the valves to take out the detent function. I'm actually working with my dealer right now to see if I can get another set of remotes and put that in. So that is definitely going to be there coming soon. And what I'm going to have is 2 regulars and 1 detent. Detent function is, you know, I don't need constant flow on valves all over the place. So I'm going to change that out. But anyway, this does come with the 2 rear remotes. The other beautiful thing that I love here is this. What that does is that raises and lowers the 3-point hitch on the tractor, so I do not have to open the door of the cab, go in, play around with levers and all that kind of stuff. It's right on the back. The one thing I will say, like any farm equipment, you know, it's dangerous. You don't want to have your foot there and slam that lever down and have the piece of equipment drop on your foot. So you just got to be careful with that. You can see right now I have the trusty Typhoon EGV35A on the back. This tractor runs it like a boss. The other thing too, just while we're back here, again, you'll see it when we get inside the tractor. There is the draft control. Okay, so this right here in this area, it senses if there's a lot of load on the tractor, and it'll adjust the implement up and down accordingly. So really nice feature if you have ground engaging implements. I don't have a lot of that right now, but you know what? It's there if I need it. So again, as we walk around, here's the you know, fuel tank on it. Not very well protected, but you know, trying to be careful with it. I did put that sticker on there that says diesel only, although I should know that. You know, just something to remind folks, if somebody else is filling up the tractor, that this is not gas, this is definitely diesel. So you know, really big gas tank, by the way. I believe it's about 17 gallons. You know, I usually keep it pretty full, but you know, pretty robust. A lot to be able to drive around all day. The other thing too, you see the front windshield wiper has also has 2 mirrors on it. They fold out of the way. You'd want to fold those forward, otherwise you're not going to be getting out of the tractor or into it if you have them folded towards the doors, but they will do that. Doors obviously open backwards on this. I shouldn't say backwards, they open towards the back, which is pretty convenient. So you can see, nice and easy. Fit and finish is great, seal is great on them, like that. So the other thing, you know, just we can talk a little bit about more about this later, but that right there is the only emissions type stuff on this tractor. It does not use DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, but it does have a diesel exhaust filter in it, and pretty simple as far as that goes. If it senses that there's starting to be too much pressure across the filter, it'll ask you to do a regen. You stop the tractor, you rev it up, you push a button. I'm not even close to that. From what I hear, if you run the tractor hard, there's people with a couple hundred hours that have actually never had to do that. But very simple system on there, which I like. The other thing too, while we're just talking, I know I'm giving you a lot of information, is with that diesel particulate filter that's in there, that is a separate system from the tractor. So it's not like there's a lot of computer controls on this. That's one of the reasons why I went with this model. It has a Kukje engine in it. That is a really time-tested engine. I believe it's the same as a Cummins A series, and I'm thinking that they actually made them from Cummins, but somebody could correct me on that if I'm wrong. But it is a Kukje 48.3 horse diesel in it. It is a mechanical injection, which is nice. There's not a lot of computers on this, and that's what I really liked about it, is there's less to go wrong. Not saying nothing will go wrong. All tractors, engines, mechanical things have problems, but that's just trying to keep the reliability up. Oh, one other feature that I just want to talk about here. This right here is the you can extend these out to get close to an implement, and then just pull up, push on them, and they'll snap back in. Makes it really easy to hook up 3-point hitch items on the tractor. So and I didn't know what I was missing until I got it, right? So when I got it and saw it, I'm like, this is kind of amazing. So I really love that. All right, we're gonna look inside the tractor a little bit. Okay, right here, as you can see, one step to go in, pretty nice. Here's the brake. This is the differential lock. This is the speed control for the 3-point hitch, so that's how fast it'll drop. There's controls on the seat, forward, backwards. You can control the spring in it. I really don't even know what that bottom one does. Haven't really messed with that. Gear range shifter here. So you have low, medium, and high. High, if you're running at the PTO speed of 2600 RPMs is where the PTO runs at 540. If you're going down the road, you're doing about 15 miles an hour. You could push it a little harder, get a little over 18 out of it, but I'm never in a rush. So just so you know, it does do about 18 miles an hour if you needed to. But medium or mid-range is where I run a lot, especially around the wood lot. And then low, I guess if you were doing rototilling and you wanted to keep the RPMs up real high and just crawl with it and make a lot of power, you can do that. I did put a seat cover on it from Tractor Supply. Glad I did, because there's a little grease that got up there. I did put the armrest covers on it too, but you have armrests on both sides. You have your seat belt here. I have a bag in the back. You have a little room for that. Over here, you have 3 cup holders. Well, one here, 2 over there. You can see that. You got a big tray over here. Windows open right here with these little levers here. Rear window also goes out. Pretty nice. I'm hanging some ear muffs over there to ear protection, because it does get a little loud in here sometimes. I did buy that cup holder that also holds the phone on Amazon. Fits perfect in there. Really nice. If you look up above that, you have the controls for the front and rear windshield wiper. So there's on, and then there's spray, which is in the middle. And then below that, you have front and rear lights, the ones that I converted over to LED. They're on there. Those are the controls for the lights. One thing I don't love about this is if you don't have the tractor, at least in the accessory on position, you can't have those lights on. There's a little dome light up top. That is just controlled by that switch. The door doesn't control it or anything like that, but that's not a problem. You can see speakers there. That's because there is a Kenwood Bluetooth stereo in this. Kind of funny, if you just, well, for me, if I just am in the cab of the tractor driving around and I don't have my ear protection on, that is impossible to hear. Those Harbor Freight ear protection, earmuff things over there, when I put those on, it must block out some frequency because I can hear the stereo perfect. It's kind of funny. It even feels like it has bass, but pretty cool. Anyway, you see some vents in the back here. Okay, those 3 vents, what they do is when they're open, they recirculate air in the tractor. If you were to close those, what that does is that puts the air through these filters. There's one on each side of the tractor. Puts the air through those filters and brings in air from the outside. Right now, it's been pretty hot out. I've been keeping it on recirculate. That's just been best for me right now. I don't have them, but I'm going to go back out here for a second. So these filters can be changed out to a charcoal filter. I didn't look into getting them or anything, but I know that it exists. You can put a charcoal filter in there, and what that's supposed to do is if you're doing spraying operations, you can bring, you can put those in there, and it's supposed to keep, keep everything from getting in the tractor, but you can still get some outside air. Over here, there's 3 vents. That's where the AC or the heat blows out of the tractor when you have it on. So you can adjust those, move them around, get them on the glass if you need to, get them on you. I just have kind of the AC all blowing on me right now. Also, really nice, there is a rear view mirror in the tractor on the upper right. That works great. I can just glance up, I can see what's going on behind me. Love it. So just over to the controls here, that's the climate control, 4 speeds on the fan, AC on and off, and adjust the temperature. Again, works really great. With the stereo, as we talked about a second ago, Kenwood, Bluetooth, hooks to your phone, whatever you need to, and it does have a little microphone right there. That little microphone, when the tractor's in accessory and off, it's fine. I'd never tried to talk to anybody when I've been driving around. You can see I have a screen here. I do have a camera. I mounted that up front. There is a rear camera. I just haven't put that on it yet. Pretty cool. Be able to see what's going on when I'm pulling up to an implement to hook it on, because it does have, what I didn't tell you about here, is a skid steer quick attach in the front. Love that. Did not have that on my other tractor. That allowed me to get some other things like forks, and there is a bucket for it. Obviously I have the grapple on. It is a 72-inch bucket that goes on the front, but right now I'm just getting more use out of the grapple. So let's go back inside. So we have hazards right here, pretty standard. Directionals when the tractor is on, obviously, left and right. They don't return with the wheel or anything, so you have to remember to to mess with those and turn them off. There is headlights, so off, low beam, high beam, works pretty good. You can see okay, but this is not a high-speed vehicle for at night. Does have a horn. Horn only activates when you have the key on, so not a big deal. Okay, so there's 3 buttons here. I'm going to actually go into accessory here. All right, you can see the tractor goes through like a little startup, and stuff like that. You have a cruise control button here. So when you're cruising at whatever speed, you hit that button, it locks the pedal. If you hit the button or you hit the brake, it will disengage. Oh, we got a little music there. I'm going to turn that down. It'll disengage if you hit the button. If you hit the brake, it will not disengage if you do anything with the pedal. You can go faster with it, but that's about it. So great for just cruising around. Little bit, in my opinion, dangerous on the road, because if you're not paying attention, you got to disengage it by either hitting the button or hitting the brake. So anyway, this is the regen button. So when the tractor does call for a regen, you rev the tractor up, you hold that button down, and it will go through its cycle. Info, right now it would be speed here. If I just were to get in the tractor, start it and go, you can see the fuel gauge there. If you hit info, it'll tell you the temperature of the tractor, it'll tell you the voltage. You have your RPMs over here, you have all kinds of lights over there that kind of tell you what's going on. You have the lights up here, this will tell you high beam, low beam, your directionals or your hazards. You know, and again, over here it'll tell you other stuff, like if you need to do a regen, if you're overheating, all that kind of stuff. Also has a tilt steering wheel. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to go over to the other side of the tractor so we can see some things over there. Well, before I do that, just since I'm here, you can see there's a 12-volt accessory outlet and 2 USB accessories over there. I have my phone plugged in, charges it no problem at all. So just want to point that out while I'm on this side. And I guess while we're over here, 4-wheel drive lever. You just pull that up, not a problem, just goes into 4-wheel drive. Pretty easy. Sometimes you have to hit forward and back on the pedal to make it engage, you know, a little bit smoother. So works pretty good. So over here on this side, hydro forward and back. I got these little magnets to this little temperature thing. Temperature's getting up in the cab, but anyway, so pedals right here, easy to use, in a great place. Right here for the loader control, this is your grapple, or your third function control for the grapple or whatever you have there. Here is your lift for the 3-point hitch. This is your draft control if you need to use that. Again, pretty easy to use, pretty easy to get to. And then you have A and B, that's for your rear remotes. Right now, A is just to be able to move a cylinder in and out, you know, you control the speed of it. B is set up on the detent right now. Again, I'm going to be getting a C, probably make C detent, and A and B just to be able to control cylinders, you know, pretty regularly. Other thing too, that so we can shut this back off, but there is a PTO selector switch, and this is the PTO button here. Manual, put it in manual, you hold this button down, PTO shaft will come on anytime you do that. So just gonna, you know, come on no matter what position the implement is in the back. If you go to auto, when you have the implement fully down and you hit that button, it'll engage the PTO shaft. If you move that implement up using the lever at a certain point, and I don't know what the angle is, it will shut that off. You know, that's probably so you don't get stuff in a situation where you're binding the PTO shaft and cause damage to the equipment, whether that be the equipment that's on the back or the tractor. So a lot of features in this tractor. You know, again, thing that I'm loving about it is the climate control. That's a real game changer to me. I don't have bugs swarming me and so forth. And you know, from the amount that I've used it, like with the PTO on the Typhoon winch, it engages so nice, very smooth, very soft engage. I always engage starting, you know, at low RPMs at an idle. You know, I think that's the right thing to do to not slam stuff. But even so, it feels much, much different than my older Kubota. So this is kind of crazy for me. The one other thing that I'm going to say while I'm back here, you know, I'm not going to get into, if you got a tractor, you know how to check the fluids. But this right here, this is to hook up a trailer. And if you look, it's not a regular 7-pin blade. It's pins that are like, you know, well, you can see, you know, they're rounded pins. I believe that's a European. So I went through and I spent about $80 on that and got it. And when I got it home, I was like, or got it on the tractor, I was like, wow, I can't plug anything into that. But I did get an adapter off of Amazon. You can get that 7-pin round plug to the RV bladed one. And I hooked up trailer to it, and all the lights worked perfect. So if I'm towing something around, I will have directionals. I will not have brake lights, but I will have running lights, directionals, and hazard lights. So that's kind of nice. So again, this is my brand new 2024 TYM 494C. I again said, like I said at the beginning, I got it from Crazy Horse Tractors in Castleton. Joe's a really great guy. What I do want to say, I paid for this tractor. Oh, we got a plane going over. But I paid for the tractor. I am not sponsored by TYM. I am not sponsored by Crazy Horse. This was my own money. This is an honest review of the tractor. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll get back to you on it, and at some point we will talk more about the attachments that I have for it, especially for the front with the skid steer quick connect. Kind of go over some of the pros and cons of the stuff that I have, and we can also then look under the hood. So again, thanks for watching today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will be doing more videos soon. Thank you.